She was gone before we ever met her, but her love was still fighting to stay alive. That was the thought that struck me the moment we received the call. It came on a quiet morning, the kind where nothing feels urgent, until suddenly, everything does. The security guard's voice wavered as he tried to describe the scene. You could hear the shock in every breath. A mother dog, gentle, hungry, exhausted, had been wandering from house to house, searching for food to nurse her puppies. And someone, seeing her as nothing more than an inconvenience, had poisoned her. By the time we arrived, hope had already slipped away. She lay still on the ground, peaceful in a way that didn't feel right. And gathered around her were 9 tiny puppies, pressing close to her belly, trying to nurse. They didn't understand why she wasn't responding. To them, she was just sleeping. And any moment now, she would wake up, stretch, and pull them in with warmth again. But her body was cold, and the gentle heartbeat they used to rest against had gone silent forever. I knelt beside her, the sight blurred through my tears. "Oh, sweet mama," I whispered, touching her paw gently. Her puppies whimpered, nudging her over and over, trying to wake her. It was the kind of moment that leaves a mark on your soul. Not because of what was lost, but because of the love she had poured out until her very last breath. We acted fast. There was no time to waste. We carefully gathered all 9 puppies in blankets and rushed them to the vet clinic. Fleas clung to their tiny bodies, their fur dirty and cold from lying outdoors. Before anything else, we had to clean them. One by one, they were placed in warm baths, the water washing away the dirt and the fear they had been wrapped in. Seeing them curl into soft towels, finally feeling comfort for the first time in their short lives, felt like witnessing a small miracle. After their baths came full medical exams. One by one, the results came in. Every single puppy had survived the ordeal. Thanks to their mother. Even in her final hours, she had protected them from the worst. Her sacrifice became their salvation. And while it broke our hearts, it also filled us with profound respect. What kind of love gives everything, even when there's nothing left to give? What kind of mother fights until the very end so her children can live? A hero, a warrior, a soul full of devotion. Of course, justice mattered too. What happened to her couldn't be ignored. We prepared to take legal action against the man responsible because her story deserved accountability and her puppies deserved a world where cruelty is not simply overlooked. In the meantime, we focused on what we could save. 9 tiny lives depending on us. They stayed at the clinic, watched over day and night. They drank high-quality formula, received round-the-clock care, and slept in warmth instead of fear. Slowly, their fragile whimpers turned into soft barks. Their trembling bodies grew steadier. They were healing. One month later, the transformation was stunning. The 9 puppies who had once clung to their mother for warmth had grown into joyful little explorers. Each one developed a personality of their own. Some were clumsy and playful, always tumbling over their siblings. Others were bold and curious, eager to investigate every corner of the room, and a few preferred to curl into laps, content with quiet affection. Their eyes, once clouded with confusion, now shone with life. Their past had not defined them. Love had. They received their vaccines, were sterilized, and continued to grow stronger. Their coats gleamed, their tails wagged nonstop, and the fear that once shadowed their expressions had vanished entirely. They had become 9 bright sparks, ready for the world. One afternoon, as they played in a tangle of paws and tiny barks, I sat on the floor beside them. One puppy licked my hand, another curled up in my lap and sighed softly. My chest tightened. "You don't remember what happened to you, do you?" I murmured. And honestly, I was glad, because from now on, they would only know love. Their mother may have left this world too soon, but her love lives on in them, in every wag, every playful bounce, every moment of joy. Her final act of courage gave them a second chance, and they carry that legacy forward with every step they take. This story isn't only about tragedy, it's about resilience, about light breaking through darkness, about the incredible strength found in even the smallest lives, and about the kindness of people who refuse to look away when help is needed. To the brave mother who gave everything, your babies are safe. They are loved, and your devotion will never be forgotten. To everyone listening, please share this story. Let it speak for the countless animals still waiting for someone to notice them. Let it spread compassion in a world that desperately needs it. By sharing, you're not just telling the story of 9 puppies. You're reminding the world that love matters, rescue matters. Every life, no matter how small, is worth fighting for. Thank you for walking this journey with us. Until the next story of love